Okay, it says I am live. It's got a different setup, a little bit different here. Yes, I am late. I was over on Rideshare Radio just listening to Steve and them, and I didn't realize what time it was, and I had to run. Get beautiful. Anyway, thanks for coming back. So, success versus failure. Control do we really have over whether we're successful or whether we fail? I was thinking about that and just kind of wanted y'all's input. Wow, thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. How you doing, Pork Chop? Really appreciate that. Thank you. So, can everybody hear me okay? How you doing, Mr. Dashing Wumble? Can y'all hear me okay? I got a new monitor and my, my editing software was making my old 2015 model laptop run a little bit slow, so I got the great idea of just reformatting the laptop since I got a new computer, new monitor, and had to get it all set back up. I can hear you fine. Okay, good deal. Because it's all set up different. I'm noticing the little LED lights are not even in frame, but this monitor I can go up and down with it, and you can turn it up like portrait mode if you wanted to. I guess he's going to do TikTok videos and videos like that. It'd be easier to edit with at the right viewing degree. Anyway, so and this is just my opinion. I think what determines a successful gig economy in your for you and whether it's a failure for you, about 90% of that depends on your brain. Because a lot of people beat themselves up because they hear what other Door Dashers, Uber drivers, and smart drivers what they make, and they're like, I'm not making anywhere near that. And they're putting in just as many hours and just as much effort into it, but there's just not the same amount of work in that area. So that's why I say I don't think you have a lot of control of that because you can't control how many orders are coming out. That's just my thought. I just kind of wanted to hear what y'all's thoughts were. And, I don't know, just was that chew the fat and pass the time. Anyway, yeah, I'll this. Yeah, well, it'll sound good here in a little bit. We went out to eat tonight for my kind of mother-in-law's birthday, something. So anyway, I'm still getting full of popcorn, man. I, for some reason, some a couple of the WalMarts here, I don't know if they're doing it all over, but they've been popping popcorn and having it like back registers. Man, that sure shop and go to. I guess I could take the sunglasses off. Oh, wow, that needs cleaning. Funny how you notice things like that when you're looking at yourself. Anyway, so what's y'all's neck of the woods? Are y'all getting orders? Or how's business? How's life? I know Mr. Dash and Mom has been having some not fun times over the last month and a half, really. So, how you doing, Mr. Giggity? Good to see you here. Good evening, sir. Mods in chat. Yeah, yeah, there's a couple here, but on this channel, I really have a big issue, real need in it. And I'm, you know, pretty good with anybody. I don't, and I don't. The language sometimes is, but I've like I said, the language is about the only thing that really bothers me. I mean, insinuate things, say things, whatever. But everybody needs to express their feelings and their thoughts. So anyway, that's why there's mods, just in case something happens. But everybody's pretty cool. It's always come to this trip. So never had any major issues or anything. Now, my video before last, there was some comments on it, but I wasn't going to delete them. It's just people have different perspectives on things and opinions on things. You don't have to agree, but you should listen to each other. And that's why I didn't delete a couple of comments. I didn't really agree with them, but I just commented back and told them why I thought that, and I understand why they thought that. So that's all good. We all got to learn. How you doing, Miss Lisa? Oh, you know what? To be honest with you, I did not work Monday, which I normally never do. Um, Today's Thursday. I did not work Tuesday. Wednesday, I went out for a little while, but the orders was all of them. It was $8 or $9. I think I wound up getting one or two shopping orders, and I came home like 114 or 15 degrees. Wasn't feeling it, and today I got out. I actually did a Sam's order. And it was, I really haven't been doing much of nothing. I haven't even been getting my review. I've done a couple of reviews. I've mainly this week have been jacking with this laptop. I love a fresh start on the computer, laptop. Roll it back like it's new. But I hate reinstalling everything. And then, sure as you get about midway at the reset of the computer, it's like, man, I forgot to save this or that. It never fails every time. And I use the Opera browser, but Opera changed up their layout. I liked that speed dial that they had on there. So now I'm trying to try out Google Chrome. Yeah. So what do you think makes you successful in the gig world? And do you have control over that? And what makes you think that you can't be successful and fail at it? Do you have an external hard drive? Yes, I've got two. And yes, like my documents, I took it for a while, but I probably had close to a terabyte, between pictures, and I've moved it all over to that. But my Opera bookmarks, they were backed up when I reinstalled Opera, and what is back on there. The last time they were backed up was about a year ago, so I had some bookmarks on there. I don't even remember half the bookmarks were dead ones. But some of them were still on there. I have like Shutterstock and Adobe for picture, selling pictures, and a video site called Black Box. I still had those bookmarks, so I got those accounts back on. Not that I make much money, but dollar here, $2 there, $10 there. It's fun. Anyway, yeah, I would. I was looking at getting a new computer, but man, after it went to, my son gave me a website that you can go to and pick part picker or something like that, and you can go through there and pick out the parts, and it will put what what it select uh, your GPU, your video card. It will give you the options on your um, motherboard, things like that. But it will work with it. It only can give you those options. I wound up at that. $1,578 or something. That's building it yourself. But Dream Machine is perfect because the laptop does okay. It's just I shoot most of all my videos in 2 point, was it 2.8? Yeah, 2.4. I don't really know why. I just like to. Of course, a GoPro will do 5K, but I think it would. I probably see smoke coming out of my laptop because at 4K, I did have a couple of customers requested I shoot the video review in 4K. Why? I don't know because you upload it to Amazon or YouTube or whatever, they compress it, to get the same quality. But you do what you ask, keep them happy. Yeah. Uh, One thing that I have noticed, knock on wood, and I don't know if, well, I don't know if you haven't that or you hadn't, or giggity, I know you do it, but here I'm seeing a little this week. I still kicked it on, just kind of what was going on, and this week and last week I've noticed even here where I'm at, where I live at, I'm getting orders. And I hadn't done that since last year. I got to where you pretty much had to be in the store. Granted, these orders were garbage, but it seems like there's a lot more orders that are staying on the screen. So either A, people are getting smarter and not taking these group orders, or B, which is what I'm hoping for, because that will directly affect the other one, is a lot of drivers have quit and gave up because you cannot you cannot take $6.59 orders and make money. I don't care where you're at. You can't do it. Not on Spark. Because I think everybody that does Spark will agree. On the average, you look at one order an hour. I know I always say this all the time, but that's on the average. Sometimes you might get two. If you think you're going to get three, that third one's going to screw up your next hour. There's no question. So two at the most. So I guess it's 50 and you do get two, and you think, oh, I jump on this, take this, and go get another one. It's only $13 an hour. You can't your depreciation, your maintenance, your gas, and you can't do it. Taxes, if you're holding money back. How you doing, Mr. Tommy? Glad you could make it. Glad all y'all are here. I would just like, I was just kind of curious about what y'all's thoughts were on success versus failure. Because it's it's just what's the word, disheartening to see somebody says I have $300 each every day, and then you personally are lucky to get 125 a day, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? That's where I don't think we have any control. I mean, it just your market is what controls you. The only thing we do have control over is whether we take that order or not. If we quit taking those orders, then those pays would go up like they were a year ago. I was going to say a few months ago, but no, it's been a year since the orders were really banging orders. I mean, there's still some good orders. The Sam's normally I don't take Sam's orders, but this one was a smaller order. I think it had 16 items. There was all for items. It was $27 for 6 pounds. So yeah, I'm going to take that. That all the orders used to be like that. Maybe not $27, but in comparison, it was all 18 to $35. Uh, I think that we'll be losing drivers because the kids, etc. be headed back to school or college. And another thing I just thought of talking about losing rabbits is a lot of younger folks and the really older folks can't handle this heat. It's hot. I don't know where y'all are at. Most every day here for the last couple of weeks, it's been 110 and 110 to 160. That's pretty warm. So that might be affecting why there's more orders out there. Granted, they're garbage orders, but if nobody's picking up those orders, what are they going to do? They're going to reduce the prices a little, at a time. But that's the only way we can control it is to make them take the orders. Skip card a minute. I had to make the college. Wait. I think you sent me a message something about being on there waiting. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what you're talking about. The skip cart in our area does a grocery store here. It's a local grocery store chain. I don't know how local, it might just be a Texas and Mexico thing, but it's like Amigos United. Actually, I think they're part of Albert, bought out Albertsons too. So Amigos United, Albertsons, and there's one more, and they're all under the same thing. Um, anyway, that's skipcart.com and does Whataburger. I know Whataburger is a southern thing, but I'm sure in other markets they have different stores. But I guess they have a contract with them. The Skipcart, that's the only delivery that comes out of United. Besides DoorDash, you can get DoorDash shopping orders. I used to do those a lot, especially late at night because they pay. Last couple of shopping orders I saw with DoorDash, you wouldn't even drive to the grocery store for it. $7 or $8 for 4 or 5 items and drive 8 miles. It ain't worth it. Redditor has got busier lately. I've noticed the college kids are coming back. Hmm. The favorite app is National Payouts. Oh, that's good. I used to not. You didn't see anything, or I haven't done favor. Oh man, year and a half, maybe 2 years. It was one of the first apps I started. I think I started with DoorDash and Uber Eats, and I think I had on Favor and Bot Squad, which is now ASAP, which are not even in Wichita Falls. But yeah, there was a couple more apps too that I was trying, and yeah, it's pretty much just smart. I try to get on DoorDash here and there just to see what's going on. How you doing, Mr. Bud Soda? That, uh, okay, Mr. Bud Soda is a prime example of what I was talking about. I don't know how it is now, but there for a while he could knock out 300, $400 a day where he lives. And people that live in places like me, it's like, hey man, I wish I could do that. But he's in the right market. You may not live in a good market. Like I said earlier, you may be lucky to be 125 or $100 a day. So what I'm getting at, don't think that you're a failure because you can't make the money that some of these people make. Granted, they have some strategies that work for them, like stacking and multi-apping and different things like that. But if the orders are not there in your market, it doesn't matter how many apps you're running, how many different multi-apping you're doing at the same time. If the orders are not there, they're not there. And you don't want to beat yourself up over that. So you might feel like a failure. You're not a failure. Your market's a failure. But that's the way it works. Now it's 150, 300. It used to be four. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And now, well, I know there. I don't know how many hours you're working now, but I know there for a while you was working 12 and 14 hours a day, and I know after Womble, you two fellas, y'all work some hours now. Um, I'm good with about 6 to 8 hours. I have worked more before. Um, me and my previous parted ways, I was working 12 hours a day to 14, but not more. It's 6 to 8. That's not because I got the money to do that now. It's just it takes a while to figure out what hours are beneficial for, you know, you may not like with DoorDash here, food delivery here, your breakfast and your lunch are total garbage. Now, 30 years ago, lunch was, it was okay. Now it is total garbage. There's no use in even getting up and out till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And and then you might be out till 10 o'clock at night. But then it winds up being 6 to 8 hours a day. Now, Spark and probably Shift and things like that may be a little different. I've tried Spark in the mornings several different times, and I personally have never done any good, but that don't mean that might have just been the luck of the draw. That's the way a lot of orders are. How you doing, Alex? Glad you could make it. Mr. T. Rod, hello. 14 to 16 average weekends. I do 20 plus hours both Fridays. Yeah, that's a lot of hours. 19 hours was my longest I did. God kill me. I 22 hours. Who does that? You know what's bad? But it's different. I'm sitting there thinking the only thing that I've done for 16, 18, 20 hours was, I hate to say it, but was at the casino. I could go to the casino at 6 o'clock in the evening, and I might not leave there until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock the next afternoon. It just and I guess I'm really doing these orders is basically the same way because it's really hard to just turn off the app or leave the casino when you're still making money. Granted, you're going to come out more ahead by leaving the casino than what cause you wind up chasing what you've lost. I got to do it. Right there, 5 jackpots in one night, and then wind up spending a bunch of that back. And then I'm thinking, man, I just want to get back what I had. And then you wind up spending more trying to chase that. But anyway, that's side point. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing. As long as you're making money, it's hard to turn it off. But here on on DoorDash, if you started at 7 o'clock in the morning, by about 9, 10 o'clock that night, that's it. There's nothing really is open that late except for Taco Bell, Whataburger, and a couple of McDonald's and one grocery store. Ah, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing else. We have one Walgreens that's 24 hours a day, but there's not that many orders coming in from these places. And it's, like I said, after 10 o'clock to midnight, it's not unless you're doing rideshare. If you're doing rideshare and don't mind the intoxicated riders, weekends, and the only reason I like doing rideshare, I didn't think I would, but it's really kind of fun to kind of, that's because we're in the military base here. Most of what we know that, except for Air Force Base. And there's so many different people from, or not different, what different people, but from different places. And it's kind of, some of them you can tell they don't want to talk. They got their phones, you do your courtesy, how you doing, and you can tell they don't want to talk, so you don't vote. But a lot of them they talk and they say, well, "What's a good place to eat?" And you wind up talking and hearing about where they're from and stuff, and it's fun. The problem is now is I don't have a base pass, and 90% of the Uber order or Uber ride requests that you get here in Wichita Falls is going to be the base. During the week, maybe not so much, but from Friday till Sunday night, it's 90% of it's all military. But I enjoy it. I do. And I would like to go back to doing that, but I got to figure out how to get a base pass. And I don't want to go out there every, what is it, every 3 days, unless you get a sponsor and then that's good for what, 30 days or something. Anyway, I'd like to go back to doing that some. When the Bucks is good, it's a huge incentive when the National Guard and the reserves were training at thousands of soldiers. I was yeah, imagine. Uh, Drum has way too many rapture. Drum has way too many rapture. What is drum? Was that a typo? I signed up on Lyft about 3 years ago. I never got. I don't know why. It's just not. Well, no, it's a thing here because I'm on a Facebook group of Uber drivers, and they're in Wichita Falls, and it's no Lyft here. I just never could get on it. The only thing I don't like about rideshare is what is it? It doesn't show you the pay or didn't show you the pay from what I remember. But you could go about all you could see is their rating and then where there's. I had a kid one time tell me, Dad said, he said, I got him almost where he was wanting to go. He said, I really need to go over to this other place too. And I said, I was taking him over to me another ride. He wound up, he knew it. And I said, well, I said, I got this other ride. I wouldn't mind taking it. He goes, well, we can just put in on the app that we need to go somewhere else and don't send it to you. Continue doing it. I didn't know they could do that. Which he wound up saying, I'm not going to do that because I know you already got a rider or another ride. But anyway, it's kind of crazy. He said, I can add more drop off locations, and it's only like 50 cents or $1 more. That's crazy. So you could, if that's the case, and if I understood it right, that could really screw over the driver because you might be a $9 trip and you might make a 4 or 5 more stops for a couple more dollars. Or 9 days and 9 days and nights was the longest I did back when I was a kid. Trip at night, chauffeuring during the day. That was the best I ever did. I didn't do. I couldn't do that. I don't know. What is it? That just put a question. If you had a 8 passenger van, wouldn't you have to get a chauffeur's license? 'Cause isn't it like 6 or more? You have to have a chauffeur's license. I don't remember how. Back when I had my CDL and all that, I was going to have everything: motorcycle, chauffeur license, all of it. I mean, that was many years ago. And that's the way it used to be. I don't know if it still is or not. But if I was going to do rideshare, I'll be honest with you, and I don't like. Well, I don't know. There's some pretty nice ones, but a minivan would be perfect. Class C. Class A is just a regular one, isn't it? I don't know why that camera's kind of looking jumping. Maybe around focus. But anyway, yeah, I did have a Class A CDL and hazmat and all that, but that was when I worked for the city, and I kept it. I wound up going ahead and dropping the hazmat because most of you know I'm going out. And it's when they started doing all the uh, DOT, you had to be DOT physical, pass DOT physicals. That was nothing. You had to have good vision in both eyes. So I dropped the hazmat, and I kept that regular CDL for a while. I wound up dropping that too because I thought I can drive interstates just in Texas, not outstate. And we're so close to Oklahoma. Well, from right here, it's only a couple of miles. Not even that. It's a mile. So a lot of driving you do. You want to go straight. Anyway, no chauffeur's license required. One. Oh, really? I was working. Oh, okay, that's cool. I saw an 80 window for sale here in one of the car lots. I thought I think I don't know how many. It was three doors. It wasn't the big ones. I don't know. Yeah, Class B. Class B is for the like bobtails and stuff, isn't it? I know it goes by different weights. I don't know. Box trucks, we call them bobtails. Around all that, I think they call them box trucks now. Same thing. I had considered buying like a utility van, but if we ever got, because I hear Steve right your rodeo, I hear him talk about that curry. That if we could ever get here, I would highly consider that because there was some orders. No way it won't fit in my Nissan sedan, but a enclosed van could for stuff and make you a little money. I don't have anywhere to park. I'll, a bigger box truck or pick up with an English truck, but just a big van would be pretty cool. I could use it for camping. You'd have to have it where you could take everything out, which could be a pain. I did it when I had my SUV, and I just love camping in it. You didn't have to worry about setting the tent up, pull up, put your cooler out, blow your air mattress up, your business. Put up the uh, oh, insulated stuff that you put in the windows. I forget what it's called. I'd have a school bus for the class. Okay, bless your heart. Some of these brats nowadays. I tell you what, when I was well, I lived out too far out, so we went to school bus. And we had several school bus drivers pulled over, and one time put one person off the bus. Man, life grandpa. Yeah. If you watch my Dirty Shoes Adventures video, some of them's got my SUV, but also it's a different camping uh, rendezvous, whatever, and a bunch of those was van dwellers, van campers. And the school buses are cool. A lot of work to because there's a lot of schoolings that convert the school bus over to the campers. If I was personally, if I was going to convert something over, if I could find one at a reasonable price, and I've seen it done up, it's an ambulance. Ambulance makes a perfect small it's camper. It's already got all your storage, already got all your power run. It's on a 1 ton chassis, 3/4 and a half ton. And I guess it depends on the size. Anyway, but my SUV worked perfect. Granted, it was the XL. When I was looking at them, I measured the air mattress, see how long it was, and you could let out. I took out the thirds, and I could lay down back seats, and you still have 4 foot, and I put a full size mattress in there. It went side from one side to the other, plenty of length. You could sit up in there. I had my LED lights running down in it. It was cool. Now I'm back to a tent, and Miss Emily's not real crazy about tent camping. So I'm going to have to hit the lottery or something and buy an RV. Get back into some camping. Of course, right now, yeah, well, if you had an RV and with a good air conditioner, it would be all right. We're getting way off the topic here. Sorry about that. Um, But yeah, the, well, there would be a good thing. Like this, talking about Curry, it's not here. So if I bought a band, I would be a failure. But I'd already know that you're not going to get enough big orders. And the orders that I do see from what's it called Home Depot through Spark are garbage. I wouldn't take them even if I had a van or a pickup because they're like a lot of weight, a lot of miles for a little bit of pay. So there's no way I would do it. But Curry, seen some of the offers that Steve's got. Independent and not commercial. Not having to have the registration number on the side and all that. No, because you're working for yourself. You wouldn't have to have a DOT physical. So I can definitely do that. I can drive a semi, 13 speed, automatic, whatever. I can run any kind of equipment you want to run, except then we're getting way off. That has nothing to do with it. Sorry about that. I'm just rambling. Anyway, um, it's just a lot of people want to feel bad because they're not making money that others are. And like Bud Soda said a while ago, 100, what is that, 150 to 300, $200 a day here would be fantastic. It just it really doesn't happen more for the majority of the drivers. I'm sure there are some of the drivers that can probably pull that off. Been doing it for a while. I just don't see it happening much anymore. You don't need money on Kansas, which is about 15 miles from us. Really? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But you would have to have a vehicle big enough to haul that many people anyway. And 1, 2, 3. If I put somebody in the front seat, is all I can haul. And 150 days is a good day. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. That would be a good day because used to that was my daily goal, 150. Then a few months later, it was hard to get there. So I lowered my goal to 25. Now it's pretty much $100 a day. If I can make $100 a day, then that's an okay day. But usually 100 to 125 is a pretty good one. Everyone giving me crap about having 5 there's a method to my madness. It's not everyone, but I'm here to earn and be profitable. Yeah, Fortunately, you are one of them in a good market where you know when you know what restaurants you can do that. Here, there's not but a couple of restaurants that are actually ever on time. You always wind up having to wait on the food, and most everywhere else. So that's what kind of screws it up here. And they used to not be that. It used to be that they were pretty much, you might wait a minute to 2 minutes, but that ain't bad. But now you're waiting 10 to 20 minutes for an order. Sometimes they don't even have an order. Grubhub used to be really bad about that. Well, restaurants was really bad because I guess Grubhub's notifications are not as good as DoorDash's and Uber Eats. They say, "Oh, we didn't even know you had that order." But that's what messes it up here, and that's one of the reasons why I got the contract violation on DoorDash because I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and Spark, and I knew I was going to take a chance of being late with my DoorDash order. But I wound up going to um, the chicken Buffalo Wild Wings, and they hadn't even started before. And I should have just canceled, but I thought, man, maybe they'll. And I wound up being late on DoorDash. But that's why you can't. You can do it here, but you're taking a big chance because the restaurants are so slow. And there's no way that I would do just DoorDash and Uber Eats and not stack them orders. You can't do it. You can't make it just DoorDash or just Uber Eats. But then you throw Spark on that, and the restaurants are just too slow here. If they, like I said, if they're busy or if they were good about having orders ready, you could. I could do it. I talk about just strictly doing Spark. But if the restaurants was quick, dependable, you could definitely get a DoorDash order in every hour. But sometimes you could. But the problem is, and it may be getting better, like I mentioned earlier, there's more orders staying on the app. Either less drivers or drivers are getting smarter, not taking low offers. So now you're starting to get offers when you're not actually at Walmart. Therefore, the last 6 to 8 months, pretty much have to be in Pokemon to get a smartphone. It's kind of back. So I don't know, we'll see what. I'm not going to jump the gun and say what I think causes it. I just know it's probably one of the two things that I'm going to look at. But yeah, if the restaurants were quicker, you could definitely do it. You are one of the lucky ones that A, you're in a good area, and B, you know the restaurant. You've been doing it. So yeah, small restaurants like in Wichita Falls, it's tough. It can be done just for food, but you can't throw spark on it too because that make your spark orders. You're, you'll be able to get on that rival lake things. And I think all that about right. Alex, Amazon Flex has been my bread and butter recently. This week it dropped. Even seen stores. Somebody told me that we had Amazon Flex here, but when you look it up online, it's not here. So it's telling me that. But maybe something you have to do the footwork and gas gas relief. A case of water. One of the best roadies was $38, and it was 16 bags of soil, 25 pounds each. Well, see, 16 bags, man. 16. Well, that's only 400 pounds. Yeah, I don't know if it would fit my car, but my car would haul 400 pounds. But I see pictures and Reddit stuff of people loading their whole back end of a pickup up with water, cases of water. Man, yeah, 10 maybe, but not a half ton pickup. I don't think it. I think you wind up scaring the transmission out of your shocks, everything is. Yeah, 400 pounds, that wouldn't be too bad. 30, yeah, I mean, depends on how many miles it was. That would have been a, but the roadies here, the majority of, well, I haven't been on roadie in a while. The majority of them, Best Buy and the pharmacy and the grocery store, I was about a week. And I haven't seen Best Buy orders in a while. And the last few orders that I did see on roadie were garbage. I used to, I could pick up, what was that, GameStop? We used to have, I think there's still a GameStop here. But a couple of different times on roadie, I picked up a game and took it, 4 or 5 miles, and it was like $25, $30 just for a little Xbox game. Oh, that I love that kind. Back then, man, that was great. You can go buy and pick up those roses, take it somewhere, and it's $35. Highly agree with you. Oh, good soda. If you know how to do it, then you're great. Plus, you know your market can do that amount. I feel pressure for sure. 3 or 4 orders at a time is the most I could ever do, but no more. Definitely. Yeah, that's what kills Wichita Falls market is the restaurants. Um, it's all reality. If everybody was on time, you know, now that sport orders have went way down compared to what they was a year ago. Um, if the restaurants were more dependable, you could probably make more on DoorDash and Uber Eats, doing them together. Which, of course, you're going to be driving a lot more miles too, but it might work out better. Unfortunately, you spend too much time in each restaurant waiting on orders. You can't really stack them that good. Here, different markets are different ways, that's for sure. 8 miles from the store, I got to store and drop off on the town, drop home on the way. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do that. It's just our restaurants screw us up so much. And I tell you what, I am not about going back to trying to do it because if it doesn't get better, I've actually got to do something. Luckily, I've used doing these gig apps to work on other things, and now I'm kind of got other things going now. So it's not. I would say 60 to 70% of my income is still from doing deliveries, but it's it's starting to do that kind of. If that makes sense. Hopefully, someday it'll be like that. But the thing about Amazon and doing reviews, you don't know from one day to the next what your sales commission is going to be. That's the drawback. But with doing delivery, you don't know from one day to the next how many orders you're going to get, how good the orders are. That's all a gamble. There's nothing 100% anymore. You could work at Pittsburgh Plate Glass, uh, factory, go in there one day and then they cut you hours or have a layoff. You don't know anymore. I think pretty much the only place that you can depend on is a city, county, or a state or a federal. All these other ones, I think you're fairly secure, but not 100%. I've never known a city or county or state or federal. Federal, I don't know for sure. City, county, and state, I've never seen have layoffs. They might rearrange people, but I've never seen a layoff. Not in Texas, anyway. I wish I could get rid of this little heart. It's right the text, your text bar, and I don't know how to get rid of that. It's some kind of update they did a while back. I'm only a 288 minutes and 70. Lord, I wouldn't even know it. I've been being I've been staying up tracking with the computer and trying to get it all going. I just realized there's a review I was supposed to be doing. I did get it out and on the drone. But tips coming in, but won't be. Man, I wish we had days that. Well, getting back really good here. I think I might have had a couple of $300 loads, maybe a few, but not much. 2 to 250 a day was good. And for this area, that's good money, really good. And I didn't work a whole lot of hours, maybe 12. If you've been out since 7 this morning, it's almost 10 now. So you've been out. My chair's freaking get some WD 40, 14 hours or whatever, 15 hours. Man, that's a long day, bud. So express. See, you see all this gray, right? Getting there, buddy. I used to stay up like that, and you will catch up with you. But you're still young. Make it while you can. Get on your feet and get some money back. You don't have to work so hard when you get older. But one of those that's in your blood. You could have $10,000 in the bank account. You're still going to be out there getting it. That's what you're used to. Yeah. So it's a good, as long as you take the time to enjoy some of it. You, it will indeed. My hair is nearly white. Yeah, mine is getting wet, and it's all. I was coloring it there for a while, years. Man, I tell you what, that's what every month and a half I was having to get that just for men. You just wash it in. Of course, get the brown spots all over the shower. Got to clean up. It just ain't worth it. It is what it is. I'm glad to be alive. Surprisingly, I made it through so far. Discord drops don't come like they used to. I thought you said something on Steve's channel about Instacart. I haven't tried Instacart. Oh man, quite a while, and I keep saying I'm going to turn it on. And I think I found my Instacart card. That's better than 10,000. So, I mean, I know that's a lot of money. Could be worse. Could be homeless and nothing to drive and on the streets. Baby steps. Baby steps. You'll get back up there. You got it in your blood. Okay, I'll make 300. Going for how far? I would consider it. I would consider $8 McDonald's pretty good on the people. Is it like a couple of miles? You know, a lot of people not McDonald's, but I was saying there was a couple of restaurants you can depend on. McDonald's, for the most part, is one of them. Taco Bell's definitely they're on my blacklist. I refuse to go to Taco Bell there, and it's not Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's another Wingstop. Wingstop is another one I absolutely refuse to go to. And that's probably I spent more time there than anywhere understaffed, mismanaged, and that's the thing about those restaurants is they're understaffed, and mismanaged. You know, they use the excuse why that they couldn't get nobody to work because of COVID and all this and that. It's just poor management. You got kids that's trying to manage kids, and it's never a good thing. Not going to work most of the time. You got some young folks. A lot of them's got some good responsibility or good common sense and know what they're doing. Have to just a bunch of them don't. We have to have 5 Taco Bell restaurants in our area. One is good. We have one, two, three, four. We have four here, and well, and one where I live, but four in Wichita Falls. None of them are. I got that last time I went there. I got so aggravated. I didn't ever go there. I always did go anyway. That last time, that was it. That put the nail in the coffin. So much people pulling in the parking lot, go around the drive through, get their food, and leave, and more people come through, and they still ain't got nothing done. Nope, don't work like that. Man, I'm out of it. That's why I mainly do Spartan. Granted, you have to wait to get loaded, but you know, I was mentioning earlier, if our restaurants were more dependable, you could accept the order and go across the street, pick it up, and get it delivered and still make it back on time. But unfortunately, our restaurants are not dependable enough for that. And I'm not going to take a chance of messing up my Spark account. Because, like Alex said, his Amazon Flex is his bread and butter. Spark is still mine. It don't pay as good as it did, but it's still number one. But that's the whole thing is I think failure is generally caused by things that are out here as far as like gig work goes, you know, food delivery and stuff like that. It's not really the person driver unless they're taking low ball orders and finally figure out that there's money and feel like failure. Yes, that is a, because if you listen and learn, but if you're failing because the restaurants and the amount of orders, it's not, you know, it's not that driver. And successful, I would consider Bud Soda successful. I, would, I know you said you was behind on some things, but to just make money, you're putting in a lot of hours, but you're making pretty good money. Right. Well, in my opinion, you're making good money. No matter where you live, that may not be that great because of the cost of living. I don't think people need to beat themselves up and thinking they're a failure when you really don't have any control over the situation. I guess that's one of the things kind of being, you know, like a W-2 job, as long as they don't have layoffs and stuff, you do you do have control over that because you got to get up and go. But as far as gig apps and stuff like that, I don't think the person is a failure or successful without a. I think it's market area for the most part. And granted, like I said, if you're taking those low ball orders, like the $8 McDonald's, if it would have been $3, on 3.2 miles, people that are taking those are the reason why those orders are that low. It ain't DoorDash, it ain't Grubhub, it ain't Uber Eats. It's the drivers that's causing that. Because if the drivers would not take that, those prices would be that. That's the way it is, in my opinion. I have another opinion too, and it is that I need to go. And I bet somebody's thinking that because I haven't been to bed this week until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Somebody's not too happy with that. Main thing is getting up as late as I've been getting up because I've been staying up so late. This week is a different kind of week because I've been getting the laptop back up and going. I just turned around and looked at the little tablet over here. We have the security camera, and I noticed Emily Scarlett. Shit! Now I remember. I took her car to get it detailed. Dropped it off earlier. I'm gonna do the outside, inside, and Sunday night, I'm gonna drop my car off and get it done. Kind of excited about that. Anyway, it's drivers that don't know what to do. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is I had said this in the video the other day. A lot of people want to talk about the foreigners and things like that, but I don't care who's a foreigner and who's not. The only thing I care about is if they're being legit with the app, which means not using somebody else's name, running 2, 3 accounts at once, because I know people do that. Easily done. It's not rocket science. And the issue with that, and then people taking 650. And what was that? I had a screenshot. It was like $6.13 or something. The base pay $3 on a smart orders, $3 and but that's the only issue I have with any of these gig apps and the drivers. And that's why I think if you get an opportunity, just talk with another driver, just even in passing, just say, man, these orders are really biting, but occasionally they're decent. Oh, I just take them all. They just open the door, just bug in their ear. Like, have you ever thought about how much it's costing you to take that $6 order, 650 order? Might do some good, might not. A lot of people don't want to listen to it. Some do. So it's up to us that do to try to help those that don't know. And there's some that do, and they just don't care because they don't have much common sense. I had a lady several months back that was doing DoorDash because her kids were at some after school program. While they were there, she was taking who the order came in. She just didn't. Yeah, yeah. And DoorDash, they were notorious for $2 orders, 250 orders, $3 orders, $4 orders, and that's something else. A lot of people that are doing Spark, and I don't know how Amazon Flex works because I don't do that, unfortunately. but a lot of the drivers they have came from Spark. I mean, came from DoorDash, and you've had all these people that's beat this in their head. Your dollars to mile ratio. Your dollars to mile ratio. If it's not $1.50, $2 a mile, it's not worth it. You can't operate on Spark. And I'll disagree all day. I'm not telling somebody they're wrong, but I'll disagree with somebody all day that thinks you can go by that Spark. For the simple fact, as DoorDash, you can get multiple orders per hour. Depends on your restaurants, depends on how far it is, but you can. Spark, you cannot. You're one on average, not every hour and not every day, but on average, you're looking at one order a day. So that's why miles doesn't matter. I mean, you don't drive 50 miles for a $20 order. It's not what I'm saying. But if it comes out 90 cents a mile, as long as that order paid good, just look at that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about a $25 order going 45 miles. I'm talking about a $25 order going 28 miles, something like that. That does not even phase me when it's that close. I look at it on Spark. I look at it hourly thing. Food delivery is totally different. That's it. It's the difference between night and day, from my experience anyway. Anyway, just if you're not making the money that people think that saying they're making, don't feel like a failure because every market is the way the cookie crumbles. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I need to get out of here, folks. I see Pork Chop done said good night, and I see you next week. And I will be here, Lord willing. That's it. That old saying, if the Lord don't come and the creek don't rise, I'll be here. If the river don't flood and we call home, I'll be back. Y'all keep smiling, dashing, dancing, friends. Oh, thanks for coming by, y'all. Mostly, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Good seeing you here, Bud Soda, Dash 104. Gig Giggity, and everybody else that was here. Don't know who else is still here. Thank y'all for coming by. I really appreciate it. So, y'all have a great night. That's what I was saying. Dashing, dancing, prancing, doing whatever it is you want to do. Be happy. Do something every day that makes you feel good. Don't let life bring you down. What's that old saying? If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all stay busy doing something. Just enjoy life. And I will see you all next time. You have a great night. Be safe out there. Bye, y'all.